I finally found some split key rings for my tumbling rings of Antiquity that I did on Instructables. Unfortunately, people seem to have trouble with going back to step 1, so I decided, well, you know what, let me make another one and show a full video on how to make it. So what you're going to need to do is take the key rings, split key rings, or binder rings if you have. I just happen to see split key rings, and put them tight together, like so. So now you have 2 key rings like this. Okay, put that aside. Now do another 2. Once you've got that done, you'll need to add a 3rd ring to it. So it'll be 1 ring looped to 2. Oops. Okay, now that you've got that done, now you have 1 ring looped to 2. Grab those other 2 rings, put it, and close it against these 2 rings. Now that's going to be harder, so I'm going to just skip past that so that you guys don't have to wait for me to go and finish it. You're going to loop to these 2 to these 2. Let's go. It should be like this now. Once you've got this, you'll need to do one thing that many people find very hard. Take it and grab right here, 1 ring, the left ring, and drop the top ring. This isn't the full chain, but it doesn't matter. When you do so, it should end up somewhat like this, with 5 rings. Now put that aside. Now you're going to need 2 more rings. And you're going to need to loop those together very tightly. I'm going to skip past that. 2 rings looped together. Next, you'll need to take that original chain and then loop these 2 rings onto that. Let's go do that. I'm not going to wait for you to do it, so I'm going to skip past that. It should be like this. Just keep turning and turning until you hear that snap sound of it closing. You should have something somewhat like this. Once you have it, now you're going to need to do a bit of searching. You'll need to figure out which ring you need to grab, whether you grab it from the left like this or like this. My teleprompter started to spaz. Either way, whether or not you pick this one, you'll need to look at it very closely. The left one is the one that's only looped to 1 ring on the next chain. So this is the top ring, so we need to look at the second one. Notice there are 2 rings. They're both looped to the top ring, but at the bottom, one is looped to 2 rings, and the other is only looped to 1. So grab the one that's looped to 1, and make sure it's on your left side, because I just found that left side works better. Let go. And you should have a chain that's looking like, well, no. You have to do it, and your chain should look like this. Now you're going to need to continue that chain until you run out of rings. If you know what I mean. Let's get started. Now to get started, I found that taking the key rings and then putting them and looping them just a bit in. Whoops. That went wrong. And looping them tightly like this. Speak jet. Annoying. Either way. So once you've got it like this and put it and locked together, just put it aside and make a bunch more. But for now, I'm just going to close this one so I can show you what to do next. You're going to do the same exact thing as you've been doing for who knows how long. And then loop it onto the chain. Pull on the ring only attached to 1. And drop it down until you have 2 at the bottom. Then put 2 more rings, do it again, and keep repeating. Now every time you do it, you'll need to flip it again to make sure that the ring loop to only 1 ring at the bottom is on the left. So let's get started. Once you've got the chain, this open up, just stick it in. It just helps out a lot. So drop that in until you reach the end. It snaps. Whoops. Okay, let's try that again. Open. Drop in the ring. Okay. Close it together and put both of them in at the same time. So the one ring should open it up so that you can put the two rings in much easier. I don't know if that came out correctly, but then push both in. Now, for some random reason, it doesn't snap together. So don't do what I just did. Maybe this ring is a phony. Okay, either way, this is what your chain should look like when it's done. This is a mini short one. Okay, so now we're not going to keep it this way. Add one more ring at the bottom, and then keep stretching the chain until it becomes long enough for you to use. So that's how to get started on your tumbling rings, and I will shoot another video to finish.